All right, welcome back, guys. We had a busy ass weekend, for sure, but I think you know, in a shortage of because of our shortage of time, I think we should just go straight into the U.S. Open. What happened there, and Franklin, just give it to me. I watched that Sunday. That was Father's Day, and I was able to watch golf. Especially with what is it? Because the Clippers Suns game was already on.
Right.
What good way to segue into that final stretch. That was amazing. But yeah, lay it on me.
Absolutely. So 121st U.S. Open held at Torrey Pines near San Diego. And honestly, I've been watching golf off and on for a number of years, but, the past year or so, I've been really getting into golf. But personally, for me, I really thought this was one of the better tournaments. And this final round Sunday, it was something that, I'll remember for quite a while. I definitely, thought this was one of the best rounds I've witnessed. Um, just like everything came into place. It's just I was texting Laya actually when the Suns game basically just ended, and the leaderboard was when Bryson DeChambeau was tied with Louis Oosthuizen at the lead after 9 holes. And if you can believe it, the leaderboard was just insane. DeChambeau major winner, Oosthuizen major winner, McIlroy legend Hall of Famer major winner, Brooks Koepka 4-time major winner, John Rahm the guy who ultimately won this tournament, Colin Morikawa last year's major winner, and then Mackenzie Hughes the what was it 54-hole leader. So it was just like a stacked ass leaderboard. Everyone is in contention. And it was like basically going down to the stretch. And it was just like made a best man win. And that's something that, that's the best type of golf you can ever see. It's just like, basically they said the US Open really, it filters out and the cream really rises to the top. And you're definitely seeing this tournament, the absolute best players in the world. You're seeing wordies. I think they're all, most of them are within the top 20. Mackenzie Hughes is the one exception. He was a surprise, but good for him. He played really well this week, so congratulations to him. But no, these guys are just like major winners, big time on tour. All the big names you like to see. It was something to behold. And going down the stretch, these guys really, unfortunately, kind of dropped off one by one, which was, really interesting. But, you know, it was just like, wow. Especially the big name that we were all like shocked about was Bryson DeChambeau, right? So
Yes.
after 10 holes, he was -5. And the guy literally, he finished he finished like really really bad, and we were wondering like what happened to him, right? He finished as +3, so that's 8 stroke swing in 8 holes. So in 8 holes he had a 8 stroke swing, which is meaning that one of these holes, I believe it was 12, he quadruple bogeyed. And so, yeah, it was just some kind of weird back nine for him. It was one of those days. It's just like, I'm just going to not make any shots in the back nine. It's just going to be, a complete meltdown kind of thing. And yeah, that was just crazy. But I think the biggest and most compelling storyline was definitely John Rahm winning this tournament. So full disclosure, I did say before the U.S. Open began that John Rahm was one of the favorites, and he showed you why this week. There were two storylines. One was he's just a great player, and he was playing really well, and he was in form. He showed you that he doesn't miss very often, that he is one of the best putters on tour easily, highlighted by his two clutch birdie putts on both 17 and 18 on some of the toughest greens you can ask for. he literally putted those in from pretty far away. Those were like at least like 10 footers, 15 footers. Beautiful, beautiful putts, especially one on 17. They said like even John Rahm himself, if he putted it 10 times, he'd probably make it one time. Like, and it sank the one time. So you know what? Luck was in his favor. But number two, I just really thought it was a Cinderella feel good story as well. You know, for all of you that don't know, about 2.5 weeks ago, John Rahm was playing the Memorial Tournament. So that's Jack Nicklaus's tournament in Muirfield in Ohio. And after 54 holes, after third round, he was the leader by 6 strokes going to the clubhouse. Unfortunately, tragedy hit as he was contacted by a tour that he was tested positive for COVID-19. So, per rules, he had to withdraw from the tournament, which is a tournament he had in the bag, literally, and he had to withdraw. And it broke his heart. Absolutely, just heartbreaking to see. He had to go into isolation for a week and a half. Just it was just like such an unfortunate situation, and people were doubting if he could, ever even contend the U.S. Open because he got a shortened practice time and all that stuff. Man, come on. Like, so this is like one of the, best stories we've had in a long time in golf. A guy who, gets what he deserves ultimately down the road by getting his first major championship, being the first Spaniard to win a US Open championship. And then just like, closing a storybook ending on what has been an up and down year, but something that he ultimately definitely deserves. So big congratulations, John Rahm, and this was such a wonderful tournament to watch.
I mean that putt at 18, golf is quite a reserved sport compared to the rest, but that birdie putt at 18, I mean, it felt like, it felt the energy was it was like hitting, a touchdown and like let's say the championship game, let's say, and you get a game winning touchdown. Like it felt like that much energy for a game that's usually so reserved. Like, and I mean, the significance of it was insane. Like, as me, a golf layman, I knew like the way it was insane how while everyone else was just hitting the rough and hitting the bunkers and just triple putting on the greens, like Rory and DeChambeau, like their
Yeah,
putting just seemed to take a dive, and especially DeChambeau is like a great, has great strength and can really, kind of
absolutely.
force the ball through, but it just felt like he kept hitting rough. Like he'd never hit it. Felt like especially like hole 12s and 13 or whatever, he just never hit the fairway. He just kept hitting
Never,
roughs. And
never.
when you could see the resolve in the fact that Rahm actually rose up to the top and he got better while everyone was just getting worse. And the Mackenzie Hughes, the poor thing, like hitting that car path and getting it lodged on the
Especially in
tree.
oh my
it
God.
was, it was,
What a stroke of bad luck. I just can't believe it. But
I was surely entertained, although it might not be as, you might not think of it as great per se because not everyone was hitting their shots and everyone was making birdies and
right.
doing well under par in that back nine stretch. It was just amazing just to see the emotions and the mental fortitude it would take in some of these players to just stay par in a lot of these holes. Like it's a really rough course. You could tell by the putting even that it feels like everyone was kind of like misgauging the greens that day. It was
Absolutely.
but it was just fun to watch just from a chaos perspective and just to see Rom and Ustazen like really be the ones to separate themselves and Rom just to show the birdie on 18 and 17. That was crazy.
Something crazy. Absolutely. And I really quick, I would correct myself about DeChambeau. He quadruple bogeyed on number 17 because that reminds me Oosthuizen played very well, and Louis, after this major, I believe this is number 6 that he's finished runner-up in a major tournament. And the guy, he only trails 2 other names, ones that you all may know very well. One's name is Phil Mickelson. The other one is Tiger Woods. Yeah, so he's finished second quite a bit. He's gotten to know that spot, but he played really well. He was actually right in contention with John Rahm up until that 17th hole, which, the guy was hitting so well all week, just pure iron or driver hits, just absolutely will not miss the fairway. And on 17, he hit it so far left, it went into kind of a canyon on the left side of the golf course, and he lost the ball. And so, the man, he still had a chance to save par, but ultimately didn't get that, so he had to bogey, and he lost by one stroke. So it's an unfortunate break for Louis, but I know that he is. I hope he is satisfied that he played a very good round. He shouldn't be like disappointed at all. It's just that John Rahm was unbelievable, like absolutely unbelievable today, and I think he was on a mission, and he accomplished that mission, absolutely accomplished that mission. So
And I mean, it feels like with John Rahm, right? I remember I asked you this question about like if let's say Matsuyama won the Masters, right?
Mhm.
And I was, is this going to be a guy that can become like a mainstay throughout golf like for the next few years? I feel like with Rom, I don't even really have to ask that. Maybe I do, but it's just the way the fact that he had that huge lead in the Memorial, and then the way he played in this U.S. Open, it was something. Especially the way that everyone was missing fairways in the back nine. He was consistently making it, and I knew there's something to this guy that I mean, there's a reason he was the odds-on favorite to win this, and
Yeah.
I guess he'll just be like a force in golf, you know, for a long time, hopefully.
Absolutely. Yeah, I believe that. Definitely believe that he has so much, raw talent. He's such a talented player. Like when I think of like most talented players from Spain, I'm not very well versed in, the history of golf, but there are three names when I think about Spanish golfers. One is the late Seve Ballesteros, one of the greatest golfers, of the past generation. He was unbelievable. And the next one would be Sergio Garcia, the guy who was dubbed El Nino, the kid, basically the supposed European Tiger Woods. Unfortunately, he didn't live up to that expectation, but his talent was still immense. And finally, John Rahm, like the guy is so talented. You could just see how good he is. Just every step of the way. People say he has no flaws in this game, and a flawless guy, just playing his best every week. Wow, it's just going to be a lot more accomplishments to come for that man. So for sure.
Yeah, I don't have anything more to add, I guess, in that sense. You know, you got anything more, man?
I mean, last thing is, now it becomes, last swing for the last major, which is the Open Championship out in Britain. So that'll be interesting. It's going to be, a test of links golf, which is a little bit different than, other kinds of golf courses. And so that's going to be something that will challenge a lot of golfers, but I think players like John Rahm, who's from like Spain, and then even though a lot of the Americans, they also play well there. It's just that who adapts the best in terms of that environment. So that'll be at Royal St George's in the UK. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and just letting you guys know, there's so much that happened in the NBA, but unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time today. We got busy schedules, and this weekend was crazy, but we'll definitely cover it later on. And
For sure.
from Jellyfish Fields out here in Bikini Bottom, uh, see you guys soon.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned.